Ready?
Sir.
I'm not ready. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It is Saturday at what time? Like 8 a.m. We decided to do this early because we want as much time as possible. But if you guys can't tell, I have the BMW F30 here behind me. And we're gonna be doing something that I should have done a long time ago. I've had this for almost like 2 months, actually. But anyways, the point is, we're gonna be working on the BMW F30 and we're gonna be installing some lowering springs. So this thing is finally gonna get lowered. This is not gonna be a DIY because I'm not a mechanic. I know Justin's not a mechanic. I would not take our advice on doing something like this. A suspension tends to be not a hard job, but it can get a little sketchy. You know where it gets the most sketchy? When things break. We did Justin's coilovers, at least his front coilovers. That's a whole other story. And we had a few things break, right? Well, actually one thing break just multiple times. Yeah, it was a pretty important piece. But anyways, we'll do one side off camera. We'll film the other side. I'll give you guys like a high level of what I'm doing. That way you guys can also like watch the process. But by no means, it's not a DIY. We're probably gonna do things wrong. So you guys can let us know just how wrong we're doing it down in the comments below. All right, so these are the lowering springs that I went with. Obviously, you guys can tell these are the H&R Sport Springs. I don't know if it says Sport Springs anywhere. But anyways, another way you guys can tell is if you open this, they're blue. So the Sport Springs, which are less aggressive, are blue. The Super Sports, which Sticks actually has, are red. I want the blue ones because although, you know, I want to lower this car, I don't want to make it like super low. I know a lot of people have been roasting me because I mentioned at some point that I was going to get lowering springs. People are like, don't get lowering springs, the ride is horrible, you know, get coilovers. I get it, but I have no money. These lowering springs are like 200 and something bucks. Like they're so much cheaper than coilovers. So for the money, I think this was the way to go. Again, I'm also not gonna be keeping this car very long, so don't wanna invest into proper coilovers. So, I gotta wake up, man. I'm so tired. So, that was the springs. Other than that, you guys can see we have all of our tools laid out. If you guys have power tools to do this, by the way, highly recommend it. There's also some like not random, but like not so common tools that you'll probably need. One of them being those pass-through wrenches. We have some other stuff, spring compressors over here, and then it's just, you know, a whole bunch of other tools. I have my impact gun somewhere over there, which is gonna be super helpful. But yeah, otherwise, I think we're good to go. So like I said, we're gonna install one side for the rear, one side for the front off camera, try to get a little more familiar with it, and then we'll show you guys the other side. So with that said, let's begin.
A few moments later.
All right guys, so it's been, how long has it been?
5 hours.
It has been 5 hours. But from the sun you can tell it's been some time. So we finished the other side. You guys can tell, look at my glove. I hate these gloves. I need to get some better gloves. Look at this one. We finished the other side. Now we're gonna do this side here. This one we're gonna film. So we learned some stuff on the other side. Yeah, we can use on this side. So hopefully this side goes a lot smoother. I think the other one took us about like maybe like an hour and a half. That's pretty bad, right? It is what it is, man. We're saving money. I'm gonna throw you guys on the tripod. I'll just quickly explain what we're first gonna do. Obviously, we're gonna jack up the car, put some jack stands. Gonna take off the wheel. There's a plastic underneath that we have to remove. And then really, the process is just removing these 2 bolts. So that way we can just drop whatever is holding the spring, remove the spring, and put the new one on. It sounds super simple. It is not as easy as you'd think. But now that we've learned a few things through some trial and error. All right, guys, step number 1. Jack up the car, which Justin is doing. Power tools. Legit. Power tools make it so much easier. Yeah. Alright, so first step is to remove where is it? This plastic piece right over here, because if you don't, you can't access everything. It's just 4 10 mil bolts, or not bolts, nuts. Ah, what the heck, man? Alright, well, Justin's gonna jack up right underneath here. That way, when we remove those 2 bolts, we don't have like all the pressure of the spring just like shoot us in the face. All right, so to give you guys like another angle, so that's the first bolt that Justin's pointing at, and that is the second one. So we have to remove those 2. They point in different directions, so when you guys are removing them, just remember where they point. It's gonna connect on this other side. It's gonna be really tough to see there. So we need to remove those 2 bolts and nuts. The hardest part about this whole process is lining them back up to get inside. Right, Justin? Not 2 hours, don't tell them that. We did it in 5 minutes, as far as you guys know. Yeah, power tools, legit. So I took out the nut. This is the bolt. Alright, this is miserable. Take your car to a shop. Forget this, man.
If you got the money.
Yeah, if you got the money. We don't.
We're broke.
Yeah. People are gonna be like, you have a G80 M3. That's why I'm broke. There it goes. Success.
Success.
Very nice. Alright, let's bring the camera closer. I don't know if you guys can see this. Not my sweat, you don't want to see that. But can you see that right there? So we need to lower this and pull the spring out. So Justin's gonna try to lower it best he can. I'm gonna try to pull the spring out. Alright, so this is the original spring. We're gonna take this rubber piece on the top, this rubber piece on the bottom, and we're gonna swap it to the new spring. We're gonna insert it the same way that we took it out. Just be mindful, not of the plane. Oh my God, these stupid planes, bro. So just be mindful of a few things. One, when you put these rubber pieces on, they have like indents. You'll put it like that and then you twist it. It'll be really clear and obvious how it's supposed to sit on the spring. So, you know, just pay attention to that. And if you're not sure, pay attention to how the spring is before you take everything apart. And then the last thing is this groove right over here. When you put the spring back inside the car, there's a little hole that this groove is supposed to go into. That's just how you know that you have the spring in the correct orientation. So I'm gonna catch my breath. New spring, old rubber piece. You can't see it. Gonna put it on like that. Same thing for the top. How does this go? Just like that. Put that on. All right, now we're gonna put it in. Justin's gonna help me out, hold that thing down as I try to line everything up. All right, so we lined it up. Now we're just gonna jack it up, try to line everything, and put those same bolts back in the same way that they came out. All right, what's wrong with my glove? What's wrong with it? It's still doing its job.
I'm gonna show you,
Yo! All right, so we got both bolts through. We need to put, what? No, sorry, we only did one.
No.
We got the harder one through. So now we gotta do the easier one. The one that actually connects to the strut. So that one's gonna go.
Drop it?
Yeah, you can drop it like this. This is so ghetto. Remember guys when I said this is not a DIY? Now you know why. We don't know what we're doing.
What do you mean?
We're just two broke dudes in a driveway.
Nah, this is a shop.
Trying to save money. Oh yeah, this is a professional shop, outdoors. Justin's getting bitten. I'm getting a tan. All right, so another update. Now we got both bolts in. We put the nuts on. We're gonna torque them to spec now. All right guys, so there's been some time. We finished up the passenger rear. So both the rears are officially done. Now off camera, we went ahead and did the front driver's side. You guys can see there's an absolute mess over there. We're working on cleaning that up. So all that's left at this point is to install the passenger side front, which I think overall the rear, Justin is saying he thinks the rear is easier. In a way, I think the front is easier, but they're both not easy. It's definitely doable. Like, it's not that bad. We're complaining, we're joking around, but you know, it's really not that bad. We can get it done. It's just you have to make sure that you have the time. And honestly, thank you to Justin, because having two people to do this job makes it way easier. But anyways, we're gonna stop talking. What we're gonna do is now film this one. For this, what we have to do is actually take off the entire assembly and then compress the spring, the OEM spring on it, put the new spring, which is time consuming in itself, unlike the rear where you just take out the spring and you do that. So once we take the wheel off, the first thing we're gonna do is take off the end link, and then after that you take off the bolt holding on the strut. There's technical names for all these. I don't remember, guys. I just wanna get this over with. And then after that, you wanna take off the actual strut. You probably have to lube it up with some like WD-40, maybe kick it down. So if you guys seen us kick it, you'll know why. All right, so first thing, like I said, we're gonna take the pass-through. This is a 16 mil, this is a T30. You just have to make sure they're in the right direction, so, all right. All right, so change of plans, because I wanna remove this to get to the end link better. We're gonna take off the bolt first so I can take off this little metal piece that holds all the brake lines and all that type of stuff. All right, just like that. So here's the bolt, here's the nut. So now with that, you should be able to slide this out of the way. And now I'll have a lot more space to put this in there, or at least I hope I will. All right guys, so we got the end link out. You can probably see it moving around. And then we already got this bolt out. So what we have to do now is take a ratchet like this, take the splitter tool, so you put it behind where the strut attaches, and then you turn it so that way it like splits it open. We're gonna take some WD-40, lube it up a little bit, and then we might put a jack right over here, kick it down. The jack will act so like we don't kick it down all the way. Pull it out, and then we'll deal with like disassembling the strut assembly. If you can't tell, we're a little beat. It's so hot. If it wasn't hot, I would be good.
Yeah. If it's not hot, it's raining. If it's not raining, it's something else.
Yeah. This time sucks in New York. There's not that many good times in New York, to be honest with you, but you know, this time especially sucks. All right, so while Justin holds this for me, I'm gonna undo the bolts up top. I'm gonna try to do them as fast as possible. I'm not gonna stall me talking right now. I'm gonna speed it up, so that way Justin doesn't have to hold this forever. So I'm gonna go up top there, do it really quick. So I was waiting for him to catch on. You got it? This is why you need to go to the gym like Justin. All right, yeah, so we're gonna take the jack, put it here just to support it, and then we're gonna work on disassembling that strut assembly. All right, yeah, so we got the strut assembly here. What we're gonna do is take these spring compressors, compress the springs. Ow, don't do that. All right, so we're gonna do the top here. If you have a tool like this makes your life a lot easier. Same thing kind of with like the end links. There's a nut and then a counter stud. I don't know, there's a technical term for it, but that's what I'm gonna call it. So all right, so we just undid that, and now what we can do, I'm gonna uncompress. You can actually take this off as well. I'm gonna uncompress the springs. When you do this, point it away from yourself. Probably a good idea. So Justin's gonna go over there. We're gonna undo this, and then we'll just do the opposite to put on the new springs. So we got the spring undone, so we can take these off. This is turning into a DIY. Not a DIY, don't do what we're doing. Or maybe do it, I don't know. Maybe we're doing it right, maybe we're doing it wrong. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna roast how we're doing this. Again, guys, we're not mechanics. So here's the new spring. We're gonna put it in the same way that this one came out. So there's, let's get rid of that. There's a spot on the bottom for it to go into. So we'll have to go like that. I have to try to put all this stuff back in. With that, we can actually go ahead and put on the spring compressors again. Compress this spring now. That way we can put the top hat back on. All right, so we're just gonna tighten up that top nut and then we're almost done. We just have to put everything back together. So almost there. We can go ahead and start installing this back into the car. By the way, I see him right there. Mike's slow speed just pulled up. All right, well, let's try to wrap this up. We're just all hanging out at this point. We're not even working.
It's like a Fast and Furious garage.
Yeah, seriously. Nothing. Bro, it's been mayhem. All right, you guys saw we finished installing the front passenger side. Pretty much done. Everything's done at this point. And also, look who came. Thick Whips. Thick Whips is here. All right, we got Mike over here. He brought his G82. I should go touch his steering wheel now that he's so conscious about it.
Yeah, I know, right?
This guy drives with gloves now.
Yeah, I didn't drive with gloves here.
What videos you're like, have you eaten too much fried chicken? I was like, yo. I'm not gonna lie, that was hilarious.
Little black.
Yeah, we're gonna pull the car out. Honestly, guys, at this point, I might just leave like the review, and because I gotta wait for the car to settle, so I'll leave that for another video. But you guys saw the install. I'm sure this video is long enough. I don't want to make it any longer. Again, thank you to Justin for helping me out. We're gonna work on his car now. Mike, we're gonna kick him out.
Moral support.
No, let's get out of here.
Moral support. I showed up when the work is done.
Yeah, you literally showed up.
The work is done, so everybody.
Literally showed up when the work.
For what it's worth, I had no faith in these guys, so I thought you guys were gonna be going all night.
We got it done all in all, and what? It's like 1 o'clock now. Yeah. We started around 9, but also we took a few breaks to have water, and then we also so we won't die. And then we also filming. Well, we only filmed the one side. Overall, not too bad. You guys can definitely do it. Like I said, just make sure you don't do it on a hot day. Make sure you don't do it on a hot day like we're doing it today. And then if you have someone to help you out, because it helps a lot, make sure you have the right tools. I'll leave everything linked down in the description below. And again, stay tuned for the other video where I show you guys the finished product after it settles, and then we'll go for a drive and do a review and stuff like that. But anyways, with that said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop it a like, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, go check out Mike on his channel.
Like, go check out Mike.
I had to like point. I had to make sure, because like whenever I point, I'm like looking at the. Go check out this guy.
Oh.
Right over here. If you guys are wondering, this is why he's so scared.
That was crazy.
What did you say?
Every time we're together, something's like rated R.
This is. Shut up, vehicle barrels.
Yo, wow.
Yeah, I'm out.
Go check out Justin on TikTok. But anyways, with that said, guys, this video is pretty much done. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.